Has anybody here ever heard spoken word before? Yeah. Okay, any of you guys like define it for me?
Spoken word is a statement that is projected in a way that people understand.
Okay.
It's poetry with rhythm and energy and emotion, just hitting the audience.
Hitting the audience.
Hitting the audience.
Okay.
Understanding a person's experience and their struggle.
To elaborate on basically everyone here, it's a way also to express your thoughts and feelings in a very creative way.
So yeah, like those cover a lot of bases for why we do what we do. Like I know personally, like a little background information on me is that I moved to Canada when I was 10 years old from the Philippines. And back then, I didn't have anyone to talk to because I didn't have any friends. So I started writing poetry. But nothing like how I perform now. Like back then, I wrote really embarrassing poetry. Like I probably wrote for like girls and like, I think the first thing I ever wrote was like, "Girl, if loving you is wrong, I want to be right." So like that's how I used to write. But ever since then, I kept going to more shows, and then I kept getting more personal experience in my life. So now I have more stories to tell. Like I tell other people's stories because they can't tell it for themselves, and I know some people are going through things and they think they're all alone because like they don't know anyone that's going through the same thing. So that's my reason for doing spoken word. That's one reason why I write. And I know like each of our members also have different reasons for doing that. So like I'll give it over to Patrick so you can do a little intro for you guys.
Okay, let's wake up the room. Yeah? Okay, so at spoken word, it's a little different than I guess a guest speaker. By the way, can we get one more round of applause for this gentleman? We're a little more response though. You guys will, interact a little bit. So for the more conservative people, there are poetry slams where we do that snap. You guys heard a little bit. So we all kind of just like, So if you hear a dope line and you're just like, yeah. Like this right here. Okay, so if you guys want to get a little more, lax, we're gonna have a little a grunt to help it from right here. Like you got that. Could be like, I should have known, but after that thing here, like, I just can't do anything. Okay, and then for like, who here knows that YouTube video, Super Hot 5? Have you guys seen that? You guys seen that? Okay, for the ones that do know, this is for you guys. So now I'm just gonna say a random line. I'm gonna say peanut butter and jelly sandwich or whatever. I want you guys just to snap. Like get up and just like, when people like kind of hold back their friends even if they weren't going anywhere? Kind of like that, right? So peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Thank you. Okay, so let's get all I want. So in the middle of one, I know we don't got a mic, so but if you guys want to get involved and this line that really speaks to you, feel free to show me that or show any one of my teammates that. So I'm going to give a piece to you guys, a little background of this piece, a little bit of disclaimer, a little definition, whatever. It's just about, in high school, just give me a show of hands. Who of you guys had that kid who just like, a bully who just thought that he was just really hot stuff, you know what I mean? And no one would want to talk, pick on everyone. Yeah, some of you are in here, right? Yeah. It's for you guys. No, so yeah, it's kind of, that's what it's out for. So I was out for a walk one night, and this guy beside me had this weird swagger in his walk. He started throwing up all these gang signs. Before he just had to talk, and he was like, "What up, gangsta?" Of course, I nod my head, satisfied he walks away. Not even a common occurrence at this particular time of day. There was this particular moment where I couldn't help but question what these kids mean when they continuously mention the word gangsta. Because contrary to popular belief, gangsta's not wearing big pants to show your briefs. Or keeping a butter knife in the back pocket of your jeans, robbing 12-year-olds for the Dunkaroos and lunch money, at least to me. Gangsta Stephen Harper's Christmas cards. Burning in fires on Christmas Eve, keeping Toronto's homeless warm. Gangsters rob forward laughing, walking past the AGO, pissing arts for losers in the fluffy white snow. Gangsters not walking around. Gangsters not walking around when you pack some heat. Waving in front of all your friends at theaters or shopping malls while you're walking down the street. Gangsta's Columbine, April 20th, 1999, gathering 12 students and a teacher and decided to do with their lives. And Gangsta's not going to a club and starting a scrap. Gangsta's Hurricane, killing thousands, leaving the city in scraps. Gangsta being a president during an economic collapse, using her tax-paid dollars on lap dances and crafts. And Gangsta is flying an airplane to 210-story towers. Gangsta being occupying the country of oil and assuming all their power. Gangsta being able to take a sweetheart and turn her sour by raping her for hours and leaving her dead inside your shower. See, Gangsta is owning diamond digging slaves with sacrifice for royalty. And Prince Charming giving some white girl these blood-stained diamonds to make a royalty. Gangsta's that cop who lets pimps work underneath his nose for a little discount off the ash every time he takes it home. Gangsta's that priest who spends his life preaching the gospel, then at night turns a daycare into his own personal brothel. Gangsta's that father. Gangsta's that father who cheats on his wife every Friday, kills his son driving drunk, backing up off his driveway. So what? Y'all still think he's some gangster? Okay, I want you to remain calm. I want you to grab this pistol, aim it point blank, shoot at your mom, and pull that trigger. Go ahead. Oh, but you can't go through with it? And I forgot that all the child soldiers doing it, so it must be some gangster shit. Nah? I want that father walking with a little son. I want you to push the father onto the street when that TTC bus comes. And I want you to laugh at the mom's eulogy about the times they had and stare his son straight in his face and tell him you're the one who killed his dad. So what? Y'all are silent. What happened to the shit you talk? Y'all are claiming to be some gangster, but now it's time to walk the walk, so go on, walk. Take that stuff. Warm welcome to Brian, another dope poet.
Hey guys, before I get started, what's the general consensus of age around here?
Sorry, I swore like twice. I'm so sorry.
14.
Oh shoot!
29.
So we got around like, I guess, 24 if you even it out. So anyways, I'll give you background information on me and my story. My name is Brian Millado. I was on the 2nd Toronto Youth Poetry Slam team where I competed at Brave New Voices. And right now I run the Toronto Youth Slam, so if you want to be on that team, just hit me up after. And I'm all about talking to the community, talking about what really bothers me. To be honest, a lot of my poetry is like, yo, this girl broke my heart, so I'm gonna bash her on stage for 3 minutes and no one can really tell me no. That's pretty cool too. Or I have a bunch of, that's not really cool, but I guess it's all cool.
Yeah.
But who here listens to hip hop? I call myself like a disciple of hip hop. I grew up on that stuff. I grew up on like Illmatic, I grew up on Godson, I grew up on a lot of Nas. And in recent years I've been hearing a lot, I guess like a decline in quality, like Guacapal, like BAM!
Two-Chain!
Like it's been, they aren't really saying anything. They're making noise, but they aren't saying words. So, Soulja Boy, yes. So I have this poem that has to do with my response to hip hop. So if y'all like hip hop, I hope you enjoyed this piece. So just one more round of applause for Pastor. Oh, just FYI, I know he's trying to be humble, but he was part of the team that won top 4 in Canada, so he's on the first place team in Canada. So give it up for Patrick. I'm not like that, but I'll try to do something like that. So this one's about hip hop. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, Amen. Father, I live in an age where hip hop is synonymous with an embodiment of the struggle. An age where intellect is frowned upon, big words disguise rappers as big nerds, so to survive this battle rap cipher, you gotta be trained and tactical. Dope team tactics involve dope teams, and when you're swinging around punches, it must involve stories, private situations about you swinging around punches, and I'm so hip-hop that my Glock can shoot out miniature Glocks, and my drop top is so hot, Snoop Dogg would even drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. I got a gun that'll write eulogy that perform funeral blessings. Bullets gotta get the point across like a Roman numeral lessons, and bullets that are shattering into multiple fragments, and emails with attachments filled with multiple caskets. Emails to God. Will he accept us now, or will he throw us back in these boxes of spam? Damn, a A big man once told me that it was all a dream while he sat back and read Word Up magazines. I read those same magazines with headlines, drunk drivers and Cadillacs with a 5-person casualty. Actually, newsflash, this lacks the mantra of hip-hop's true casting. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being hypnotized by the false prophecies of the radio gods. I'm sorry for believing that real men kind of cried. I'm sorry for not mourning when my close friends die. Is that a lie? Because these brief mornings do happen. With the arrival of new days, so we smoke and we blow haze to get rid of that true pain. But then again, they say that pain is for the weak, and I struggle to make it through with my weekdays amount to 7 and 9, trying to find the wise, but I'm trying, Lord knows that I'm trying, but on the inside, I'm dying. I die because I watch a flock against exposure, hypnotized by the rhyme. So when this Glock will leave my holster, bang! This hip-hop sounds like shattered dreams sung by angels with plastic wings. So rest in peace to the preacher, Tupac Shakur. Rest in peace to the preacher, Christopher Wallace. How many angels must the heavens take from the airways for us to realize the errors of our own ways? Can the pioneers with halos detach these shackles from our ankles? We are slaves to these wings, complete with the chains. So to the dying underground hip-hop, I salute you. And say that I'ma miss you until we decide to dig deep enough, until it's not a minor issue, but until that time comes. I reside about the rhymes, Glocks until that ish stops, but to survive this battle rap cipher, you must forget about hip-hop. Open your eyes and hope that it was all a dream, but to those bad boy records, listen up, because this is a big deal. He's part of the Messenger Poetry Sound Collective. Give it up for my friend Mark.
Okay, so like I've told you before, one reason why I write poetry is to tell my story, to tell other people's stories. So this next poem that I'm going to do for you guys is something really personal, like that I wrote about a friend. So is it okay if I get serious with you guys for a second? For like 3 minutes. Okay. Have you ever seen a razor blade swivel its hips across an ivory dance? Waltzing across the bare skin with steel stilettos, cutting across the stage to the applause of scarlet letters burning bright against the floorboards. A woman, stitched together with kind words, scars, slow dancing down her wrists like train tracks, marching in file down her wrists, like a barcode of all the memories she wishes she could buy back. Her heartbeat. Bumping a bassline rhythm for the dancers to lose themselves. Humming to the melancholy of her family's neglect, her friends' goodbyes, and the somber soundtrack of burning bridges right until the music stops for mine. Is shackled to better days. Childhood memories projected onto cumulus clouds where the silver lining is auctioning off the rest of her. To a father, who sees the bottom of a shot glass more often than his family, with fists that fall like comets and paints her face the same hue as the night sky, and a brother. It used to be the only good thing she ever had. Her moonlight in the darkness until the day she came home to find him hanging in his bedroom, the trauma, screaming all of its darkness from the walls, turning him from light into statistic she misses. She wishes she could say hi again, because sometimes life is just a race. And the winners are the ones who sprinted their hardest to get away from what's behind them, so she cuts herself. Another slice of heaven, because in this whirlwind of a world that goes crazy in her veins, it's the only thing she can control. Baptizes herself with the pain, blesses herself with the blame, slicing her skin, scorching across the metals of her arms like burning crosses, asking God to admit all the mistakes he ever made, speaking, praying, begging the language of the broken-hearted, asking a gentle goddess to turn her tears into typhoons, to flood and wash out all the crooked dreams, the shattered china and the upturned tables of the home she could never empty herself into. She carries on, back, breaking from the pressure of carrying a building, brick from all her regrets, 60 sob stories high and wide as the horizon, sing a lullaby to her heart. That she replays like shattering glass in the crook of her smile and the breaks in her laugh, that she wheels like a morning star. So how do you tell a broken woman she's beautiful? You don't. You give her roses. Not blaming her for having thorns, or being there to clutch her petals in between your fingertips, holding her chin upright. And while my words may not be as sweet as the morning dew, I would still give them to you. Knowing that girls have been called beautiful. They birth art in their eyes, turn into portraits, turn into poems, but you are the renaissance of the woman. Some are truly beautiful, and I'm here trying to understand you. Thank you. Okay, so up next, I'm going to welcome back Patrick to the stage to share another piece with you guys. Yeah.
Come on, Marcus. He's such a gifted writer that, like, you can say anything, and then you just want to, like, okay, well, like, you just feel like you can and go into the washroom. Everyone's like, what the fuck? Sorry, anyways. So yeah, I was gonna teach you guys. How much of you guys watch cartoons as a kid, or still watch cartoons? Yeah. Me too. I do a lot of that. I do a lot of cartoons, read a lot of comics, and just a big dork, you know. Thanks, man. Thank you. In real life, Elmo would be ashamed of selling his body to make a living. After hours of tickling, he would cry in the shower shivering, only to come home one day to see Big Bird having an affair with his wife. And with a kitchen knife, he would end Big Bird's and his wife's life, because in real life, the Cookie Monster went to rehab for his drug addiction. Threats to the cast of Twilight with the count conviction, and Bert and Ernie stood up for the rights to be gay, but they were shot by the KKK, because in real life, Kermit the Frog had a gambling problem. He lost a bet to Roger Rabbit who could jump the farthest, so little Miss Piggy helps Kermit the Frog make ends meet by working those corners on Jarvis, because in real life, Aladdin only wanted Jasmine because her waist was like my wrist. And Sleeping Beauty never woke up when True Love's first kiss, but when she had her Princess Lamborghini driving through the mist, because in real life, why did Ariel have to get legs? Why couldn't the dude be the mermaid?
Right.
I guess having 2 legs makes it easier for him to walk away when she gets pregnant. And how is Hakuna Matata a problem-free philosophy if in Africa, instead of kids getting grub, they're getting coffins be? And none of us know where them coffins be, because they're buried underneath the grounds of Disney, because in real life, Dora was no explorer. Illegal immigrant that snuck past the border. All you kids at home, all you kids at home giving lousy lick on Mr. Rogers and Peter Herbert a tug in the tip. And yeah, Tom and Jerry look all cute in the chase when the same little critters in the Philippines infest the basement. You know, all the kids want to be the next Power Ranger to get kidnapped and raped by a costume stranger, because in real life, SpongeBob looks happy, but he's living a lie. So he works minimum wage at Krusty Krab just to get by. And Care Bear's taught me to love my enemy. Instead of attacking, it took me slaughtered them and skinned them for the fur of my jacket, because in real life, we all know He-Man's sword or Green Lantern's ring, but how about those words of Martin Luther King? Pokemon, yeah, gotta catch them all. But how about that poet Jose Rizal? It's not theirs, it's our own anxiety. It puts kids in this bubble called Western society. We're fighting for our cartoons every night, while kids in other countries with Crayola made picket signs are fighting for real life. Because in real life, I don't love you, you don't love me. I prefer cartoons. You guys all like cartoons? Next up is Brian Millada's last piece today too. So please welcome back to Brian.
Guys, I have a second topic that I want to talk about. There's this thing going around, well, before people used to say no homo, and I kind of took offense to that. I'm straight, but like obviously equality for everyone. Wouldn't want anyone coming up to you and be like, yo, I love your girl, no straight. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. Yo, guys, that's a beautiful woman, but no straight though. But I think the next thing is like, it evolved into this thing called pods, so it's like, it's kind of weird. There ain't no videotapes or something. Like, I'm gonna try to address this in my new poem. How, like, it's okay to love your brother. Like, you never know when they're gonna go leave you. Like, you know what I mean? So, this is what I got. I think I'm going crazy. Standing over this black box, I look. trying to fight back these tears from my eyes, because we've been pressured not to be seen as guys, feeding us lies like how realize from real guys cry. But my mind seemed otherwise when I attend funerals, because all I'm hearing is that the black is so great and the venue is so beautiful, and I'm crazy for not paying attention, because my eyes seem to be glued into a different direction, a big black box. Thinking about the times on the swing stand, to the times you would swing to be a wingman, a weird sensation comes across my face, and I shed a tear. And like pin drops in silent rooms, all attention falls on me. Why do you cry, she asks. You're crazy. Boys don't cry. And it hits me. And I think I'm going crazy because I've been playing rushing emotions like broken projectors of how much I love you and how much I'm gonna miss you. But for me to express that in an acceptable way by society, you're telling me I gotta end it off with no homo? Well, I love you, bro. No homo. Once upon a time, there was a land where we could end sentences off with I love you, bro, and mean it, so I can't cry anymore. I'm trying to make sense of it all. I'm seeing that feeling is something woman can do, but when seeing emotion from a damn dude, other dudes make it action, saying it's something you can do, we need the man to hand you back to you, saying you should stick to what a man do. I think it's going crazy. We've been to so many funerals that it numbs us to the point that it dumbs us, etched in our skin like fading scars to the point that we treat these funeral programs like they're trading cards. Imagine two kids talking like, I'll trade you 2 of these Johns for your Jeff. Now, is that a reality check? I'm sorry I should give our generation more credit, but I've written off more reality checks that I feel like I'm in debt to society, but in reality, society is in debt to me. We made the transition from crying our eyes out in funerals to liking Facebook statuses saying, rest in peace, Bobby. Now that's sad. Boys try to be strong when these situations arrive, but deep down inside, you can see these places arrive where one of your griefs so desperately try to flourish. We are called soldiers if we can do so. We are just toys, green camouflage with feet glued to the given space. This is our box where we must remain in to be men. They are just toy soldiers, easily replaced. So either we're faced to crazy and emotions so beautiful, so either we're turning our backs to the funeral, so we're back to the funeral, back to the backwards, but how the black is so beautiful at the back to the funeral, and now we're back to the black box where they stand trying to box back the tears at the back to the funeral. We are back at the funeral. How come we always end up back at these funerals? Why do you cry, she asked. It's because I'm crazy. And the black box that I'm seeing shit might as well just be in it. Because I'm crazy. Most of all, I still listen when the stage real men cry. So I guess, crazy. So we got 2 more poems for you. So I hope that everyone's still keeping that same energy up. Can I hear you one more time, everyone? So, but next up we got Marcus. Okay,
I promise I won't suppress everyone again. So I have a poem that I thought was like perfect for the occasion because like one thing I hate like personally is being stagnant, like not developing as a person, not reaching my goals. So I always try to do that as best I can. So I love this poem. So they used to ask me what I wanted to do when I grew up. I always wanted to say happy. Wanted to say anything but a coward, anything but a failure, anything but a person that settled for everything they are now. But I've realized that happiness is not a destination but a state of mind. It is not the ribbon at the finish line or the smile you stitch to your face in the morning. The absence of the audacity you once had to dream and be something more than what they said you can accomplish. Or the empty promise to yourself you built an empire. Like the 9 to 5 that looks too much like a collection of could-haves and I wish I was someone else. It looks nothing like the daydreams you used to call reality. Or the I'll do it tomorrow when you said the same thing 5 yesterdays ago. So do not let your dreams run away. Do not sweep them under the rug. Every time the fire inside you just want to peek out and greet the sun like an old friend. Let your aspirations sleep with your thoughts together. Because if you listen close enough, I promise you can hear your pillow talk. Whispering sweet nothings in your ear, seducing your body into doing things that your brain was always scared to do. Like live, run. Past the I don't want to do it right now. Past the 5 minutes after they left you. Past the 5 minutes after you realized you weren't good enough. For the 10 minutes immediately after you realized it just wasn't right for you. Run. Like the single mother who wakes up and smells her children's dreams so she says, I gotta do something. Like the man who wakes up on a weary Monday morning and tells the weekend to wait a while. while he sneaks his soul from its slumber like the girl who dreams of being a doctor or an athlete or president. And she won't take no for an answer, run. Like you had the heart of a blue whale, like your soul couldn't help but sing the gospel right out of your bones, like your footsteps could make the city shake from the passion pumping through your veins. Like the 6-year-old in olives that wants to shake the dust and sing their skeletons into the success they finger pasted onto the refrigerators all those years ago, run. For a sunrise worth waking up to. For the nights when heaven on earth looks a lot closer than you ever thought possible. For those who can't help themselves. For your 6-year-old self, so when somebody asks you what you want it to be, not what you asks you what you are, not what you want it to be, you can finally say, happy. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna do one last poem for you guys, but thank you so much for having us. It was a blast. Like, you guys are okay, so we're gonna do one last poem for you guys. But
and if you guys are wondering about places where you guys just try this or start this, just tweet with the hashtag the messengers. We'll tweet back to you guys. We'll add you. We'll have a good time over Twitter and whatever. Sorry, that was a terrible market. I like that.
you got a girlfriend back home? The rightful
See,
girlfriend.
homie? Yeah, homie. Never till I die.
I am your mother.
Never till I die. I bleed for my team.
Men are your
I
brothers.
bleed for my team.
Attention! A mother should never outlive her son. Can you picture your baby boy clipping his wings to drop his feathers for a war he was bred for? To the soundtrack of shells clattering on concrete, a future like thousands of cracking yolks, a generation of poster boys for war, both murderers and martyrs, traded firearms from fathers, graduated from books to combat boots in these days. Hopes are harder to hold onto than hand grenades. We are weapons, raised by national pride to die for peace because rockets aren't expected to have a long life expectancy either. They might as well call us shooting stars. See, there's nothing like the pride of taking a bullet for your mother. There's nothing like the pain of knowing you'll never see her again.
I used to look up to you, but I never understood the camouflage and dog tags, a war that has nothing to do with me putting these kids in the body bags and bloody rags, and we struggle to reach for the mag. I guess we have one thing in common. We both bleed for a flag. Mine's on a pole, but in my back pocket, see, ain't nothing philanthropic about selling narcotics, so forgive me. But choosing a life of fat ass and fast cash, empty registers and bricks in the trash bag. See, I'm just tired of people not giving their rat's ass. I can already flip an O for 450, and I've never been in math class, so please. Dreams of a better life? I'm way past that. Never will being strapped ever involve a backpack. Tell my mother I'm sorry. I love her, but I warn her. Ever since I could walk, I've been adopted by the corner.
I used to look up to you. Back then, the only drugs we had were vitamins, Flintstones. My brother Fred under the bed is where he kept the rock. Where the box screen of Barney showed the air now green with the purple like Barney. Shrooms give me that superhuman feeling like Mario. This was a game he played, so from countries to blocks, it was all the same. You see, my mother trying to make me go to rehab, but I was like, no, because this house is not a home, and the pain from carrying this home in his shoulders was too much. Twin joints for his twin joints, so I guess this was too blunt. The overdose of pain was reflected in the drug smoke, crack beating his chest while his mother was heartbroken. So pardon me if I pour my soul for these memories, because this is more than important, the price you pour from your Hennessy, see. We forgot about the woman that taught us what love means.
See, I sacrificed my life so I could die for my
I died for the streets, but the block still loves me.
Inject the pain away, but my block stay hungry.
But
the mother should never outlive her son.